Okay, everybody, I want to share some insight today on what I feel is an important tool to use when trading, whether you are a new trader or a seasoned trader. I believe that this is a tool that is not discussed much. There's so many different systems out there. There is so many different choices to make, and really, if you're beginning in trading, you may just get very confused and as a result fail, which, as many of you may know or may not know, many traders do fail within the first 3 months, or at least they destroy their accounts. And excuse me, because I am in a trade right now. Excellent. In fact, why don't we discuss the trade that I am in, and then I will talk about the tool that I think is valuable, something that I feel you should know. So over here, this is a MT4. So that is the trading platform, MT4. And the reason I am showing you this, it's very, very easy to use. Okay, if you are just starting in trading, it is so simple. Okay, you just download it and just so easy and simple to use. So what I do, and keep in mind that you are seeing on the left the S&P 500 index, and on the right you are seeing the Australian versus the USD. But what I do is I still use the MT4 platform. Okay, I look at it this way: if it's not broke, don't fix it. Now, while I was trading, and I've been trading for years, I believe it was 2011, they passed a law. Now, this is just the United States, passed a law that the Forex brokers cannot offer futures in the same accounts, which is absolutely ridiculous. But some political nonsense decision, I believe it was the Dodd-Frank bill. And as a result, I was accustomed to trading in the same account via CFDs, which you can in other countries except the United States. But I just left that whole MT4 mentality intact. However, because I can't place trades, I can't just click buy and sell here. So the way that I continue to use the tools that I want to is I use an MT4 demo. So use an MT4 demo from a broker that is outside of the United States, and this will allow you to basically have everything configured all together. Now, I do use interactive brokers to make my trades, and then my preferred Forex broker is actually Owanda, and then I have a few other brokers that I use as well, depending upon the kind of leverage that I'm looking to get, so on and so forth. Okay, so these are the charting systems that I use, and I'm going to go over a very simple tool. Now, right now, I want to let you know that I am short the Australian dollar. Okay, so I have another screen to my right here as well. Just gotta another screen here. That's to my right, so I have that down, and I am looking at that while I am talking. And as you can see on the left, we have a considerable bearish candle that's being created here. And as a result, we are staying short. Okay? On the right, you have the 1 hour chart for the Australian dollar. And the Australian dollar does typically follow the movement of the S&P. However, I'm not really liking what I'm seeing because it hasn't been that aggressive as far as moving lower today. So here's the 4 hour chart. You can still see that we are seeing a move lower. And as a result, I would like to stay in this Aussie dollar trade. Okay? Okay, so getting back To some thoughts on trading stocks. Let's just say that you don't have a futures account, and let's say you want to trade stocks. Well, one way to do that is to trade the Australian versus the USD, which I trade. Obviously I do have a futures account, stock trading account, but you typically will get a move, a very, very good correlation with Australian dollar and the S&P 500. Okay, so by shorting the Australian dollar, when you see the S&P 500 moving lower, that is indeed a good strategy. Very simple. So correlation, very, very important when you are trading, because if you get an overall picture of the market in general to see what is going on, you will be able to develop some kind of a strategy, whether it's bullish or bearish, that will at least help you in a directional trade. So for example, the stock market is selling pretty hard. Well, you definitely would not want to go long the Australian dollar. This doesn't mean you necessarily have to short the Australian dollar, but you absolutely want to stay away from going long the Australian dollar and some risk on currencies, or just risk currencies as they're called. For example, the Canadian dollar, the New Zealand dollar, and then you also have the Australian dollar. Now those are the three that come to mind when we talk about risk on. So a risk off trade at one point years ago used to be the Japanese yen. That is not the case anymore. So it's not like, one moment here, let me go ahead and actually exit my trade. So I'm exiting my Australian. You know what? Maybe I'll wait for this candle to close out. Let's drop time frames here. All right, that's the 15-minute, and on the right, the 15-minute. I'm gonna just stay put here. This pattern here is absolutely a bearish pattern. But the risk, now some say that the pound is indeed a risk currency. In other words, stock market moves up, the pound dollar moves up with the stock market. That's not always the case, not such a great indication, because there are so many geopolitical variations, geopolitical news, and things that can come into play. So not necessarily such a good thing to do is, stock market moves up and you're going long the pound dollar. Not a bad thing. Most of the time it will go up, but not always the case. So we're talking about more of the, quote, safer trades if you were to look for risk on, risk off. So at any rate, and of course, risk off would be to go long the US dollar. Again, in the past, it was the Japanese yen. So this is just a strategy that I wanted to discuss. I'm going to get into some tools in some later videos. In other words, some tools that I think are important for the beginner trader to use. But really today, I just wanted to discuss one of the tools you can use, which is really find out if you're risk on, risk off day, and use then your strategy to implement, knowing what to go long, what to go short, or of course one strategy is to not trade at all. So hope this helped to just give some insight of different methodologies in trading. I'll be making some more videos this week. Thank you.